smart aleck. I'm being a smart aleck a little bit here. It is like Forrest Gump, kind of like uses uh, as it is, as it does, as it does, as it is. I don't know. I don't know. Being a little facetious here. So we're saying progressive Democrats shutting water off of California farms. So I got it in a nutshell. What I detect is I detect on the internet when I do a search out here, it looks to me like we're gonna start with uh, a certain search that I first started out with, and it led me not to to the conclusion that I was looking for here, and that is why is progressive Democrats shutting off or causing a drought in California? And that's not necessarily what I believe now that I was looking for in particular. So that gives the left Democrat left ballers ammo kind of to come out here. Not ammo really, because it's not really anything. It just gives them the right now to go and write an article here. Now that asks, or not asks, but it states that conservatives are blaming Democrats in California, not the climate, for the drought and what's going on there. So I don't know what if people, you know exactly what they're talking about, if the climate is causing it. So if necessarily if is it man-made? Is man causing the drought? One way or another, somebody's doing it, right? So the left is saying that it is man-made, but it's from like our automobiles and whatever this and that, which is kind of hard to buy right now at this point because I've had this discussion a long time ago already, and the thing is our emissions here in the world, and especially in this place in California, which is like a dream utopia place on God's freaking green planet Earth. It is so beautiful in California. I lived there, lived in Oceanside, California, lived in Vista, Carlsbad, is freaking awesome down there. San Diego, beautiful place. It's so beautiful down there. So even though it's all droughty right here, it still looks beautiful to me. You know, you're like saying, well, like if that's California, man, let's go. You know, everybody wants to go there at least visit for about a week or two, you know, before they come back to wherever they live in elsewhere in the USA. But we're not saying that it's a man-made drought. What we're saying is progressives. Why are progressive Democrats causing California farms to shut down? Why are they causing them to shut down? And what I got was that they are trying to say that people overeat, people waste food, and I'm here to tell you, I'm from Oregon, so I can sift through all of this crap and I can tell them right to their face. I lived in Oregon for a good part of my life. The rest of my life was here, where I've been for almost 10 years after I lived in Oregon. And then before that, it was in the military. My parents raised me in the military. So before I came to Oregon, and that's where I was lucky to be in a progressive liberal place like that, to be able to talk to people firsthand what they're talking about. Instead of some people, I guess, would talk to me, but I've had some very irate conversations with people, and I wasn't getting irate with them at all. I was just saying, yo, man, whatever point I was making about this Democrat liberal nonsense, you know. So it is liberal. I do believe liberalism is nonsense, but I'm trying to take it back because liberalism was meant and intended to do the right things and not be abusive and corrupt with money or your food box or whatever the hell you got to get out there and kick it out there, but do the right thing and have the right honest people in charge of your stuff. But here we are. No, people want to argue with you on all this stuff, and the bottom line is what you can't. You guys aren't possibly been fooled, duped on the one of the largest scales. You've seen it happen in other places where people get duped all the time, and no matter what America has done before to help them become liberated or become a democracy or whatever, they end up being dictated to by one guy who has in their mind to be the showboat and to be like the prince or whatever they want to be, king or whatever, instead of saying like, no, I'm these people's ruler. I'll go into war if I have to. Like be like this fierce, you know, uh, person to be reckoned with whenever it comes to, you know, being right. And I don't think being right, if you're in the right side and you're in the right frame of mind and you only mean do the right thing, I don't think you should be budged by evil. But here we are. So it says one on Fox. It says California officials cut off water supply to town. So and they're saying Democrat. They're not saying whatever else, but they wanted to blame it on some kind of other kind of scenario. But it all bottom line boils down to them doing all this stuff because of people, from what the Democrats are saying. So that's what you're voting for. These Democrat people in Wall Street Journal. What are these guys? I was reading this guy's comment right here. I wanted to go over this article on my own time. I wanted to do it before I started this, so maybe I could point out a couple of different things throughout it. But this is saying California. This is the Wall Street Journal, and it's saying that this is a paid article. It points out right there. So the Wall Street Journal, and what this person here is saying is by Ted Sheely, reported July 29th this year. So they said California farmers aren't the water hogs, and like I said, I don't know what all they went through there, but I'm not here to protect any kind of party line, but I can point out that as far as I know, I think that Sean Hannity and some other people from the right, Republican type of people or whatever, conservative type of people, have stood up for the farmers in particular. So I'd really like to have a conversation and find out from one of the farmers that they might be conservative or not or whatever, but they're stuck in this situation. I'd like them to give us the lowdown, the scoop of what's really going on down here. I don't know if some people are muscled into not giving certain information, but that's but that's your food supply. So I was looking at, all I wanted to add to this in particular on this subject is, are they going to shut down and kill basically all these farms? So they want to shut down all these farms in California, and the progressives have took over California. And you see all these different places that have, or that are only influenced by Democrats, completely, all the way. I mean, they've got their agenda in firm. What they look like when they go to the White House and they're in the federal government and they take that over, that, in my opinion, is it's disgusting, it's morbid, but it's sickening, and that's exactly what the whole entire country is started to be forced, kind of, more or less, being kind of tortured into having to at least listen to this garbage. Regardless if your area or wherever you're from remains, I would say, with a conscience, not being an idiot for whatever reason. Um, these guys are attacking. It's a liberal state, so I mean it's firmly controlled by progressives and liberals. So whatever is going on there is not fixing the place, and they're causing starvation, and they're causing drought, and they're causing people, in my opinion. Now, that's my opinion. I don't know that for a fact, but what I do know is that they are making the growers and the farmer type of people suffer for some reason. So, in my opinion on it is that they're causing the drought, and it's a uh, not a climate thing. So you would really have to get me to investigate and understand truly why certain places maybe turn into a desert, why there's a drought at certain particular point in time in all different places. I see that it just happens at random sometimes, but I just I just really wanted to point this out. We already grow enough food for 10 billion people. So California, if they had basically not had all of their food shut off or whatever, their water shut off to grow their crops and whatnot,